Hello, my name is Jack Hansen. This is my presentation on William Shakespeare, and this is for Founders Education. So, a quick overview: William Shakespeare, remarkable man. He um, written dozens of poems and playwrights. He not only invented, a lot of different words that we still use today. He also um, introduced a type of poem, and he's a true innovator, a Renaissance man, and a trailblazer. So, a background of him: he was born on April 23rd, 1564, in Stratford, in England. And this was during a time where a lot was going on um, with political and religious conflicts. So, he grew up in a time where that took place. And in early life, he attended high schools near his area. He studied social studies and literature, but it's ironic he did not go to college. He worked as a servant for the Houghton family in Lancaster, and he joined an acting group, and that's kind of how he became, you know, involved with acting and playwrights. So, and that was the Lord Chamberlain's Men. So, brief historical context: again, there was a lot going on, a lot of conflicts, and there was an imbalance between the church and politics that created chaos in Europe. So, for example, there was the 30 Years' War, there was the Enlightenment thought, which was the thought where it removed um, it created skepticism for the Roman Catholic Church. And Renaissance man, for example, like Leonardo da Vinci, right? Shakespeare's a Renaissance man, just inventing, just trying new things, not going with what was been said. So, one of his most famous piece, written in 1597, Romeo and Juliet, right? Very impactful piece that he's written. Um, it still impacts society today. Some examples are, song lyrics, right? There's some references like West Side Story, for example, the play, and there's a tension of romance, right? Many forms of art before the Renaissance, it was primarily just for the church. Every piece of artwork, it was just made as like religious symbols and meanings. But this was just part of the revolution of trying to create art that was just not just for religion. So that was the attention of romance. Julius Caesar, a few years after Romeo and Juliet, this was another very famous piece. This one, based on a true story, but common themes of power, desire, and politics. Like the power, like you can see Caesar's like ambition of he just wants to rule. And in the picture in the bottom right is a painting from Vincenzo Cam. Um, so there's a lot of art, a lot of, again, moving away from the church art and politics. Like there was a lot of or conflict with politics at this time. A few years after that, he's written Macbeth. Macbeth was, you know, very important, and this was a time where King James I was, in power in England at the time, and some themes were paranoia, guilt, revenge, and justice. This was, you could see the character Macbeth grow and how he evolved through this play. Like he was innocent, he was a hero in his town, like he was successful in battle, and then he was manipulated by these witches, and then these prophecies got into his head, and then his wife was, encouraging it, and then he began to like lose his mind. So that very important piece. It's like how you can kind of see it today with like mental health almost. Like you just need to like, you know, do what you think is right. But after making a bad decision, and you don't know what to do, so then you become paranoid and you become guilty and you feel, and then you need revenge and then you need justice. And yeah, in 1611 he wrote The Tempest, which again, like, has common themes, but this time of like magic and punishment and love, right? Love between the main character, Prospero, has a daughter, and then she falls in love, and then at first he doesn't know, like, he doesn't support it, and then he eventually does, and then people are trying to kill him, and then there's the punishment. So this was another famous piece that he's written. So, yeah, in conclusion, with these few examples of William Shakespeare's accomplishments, he's also, again, written hundreds of English words we still use today. And he invented something called the Shakespearean sonnet, which had a rhyme scheme of A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, G. So that was like that's the rhyme scheme of his sonnet. It can be seen in his plays, one of them from Romeo and Juliet, some examples in there. His legacy will continue to grow as more and more children around the world study literature. And this is my works cited. Thank you. I'm Jack Hansen. This is for Founders Education.